Yes, success. So, welcome everyone to Any Sunday Songwriters. Um, my name is Jan Seides, and my guests today are Roger Edmondson, who I met here at New World Deli in Austin, and that was fun and a pleasant surprise. I was there for something else entirely and stumbled on a jewel. I think you're going to really love him. And also, y'all may remember Lynn Crossett, who you just said where you lived, right? San Marcos now.
San Marcos.
It
Yeah.
used to be Houston, did it not?
Now, for some reason, you connect me to Houston usually when we play together,
Don't
and
know
I just
why.
it's partially my fault for not mentioning anything before when you've introduced me as being from Houston.
Well, anyway, we know of Lynn's music already, and we already love him. So, welcome to both of you, Roger and Lynn. My name is Jan Seides, and I'll be your host this afternoon. Hi, Janet. Glad to see you. Janet is a little bit north of Tel Aviv. So, yeah. Yeah. Uh, so, Lynn, would you like to kick us off? Tell us something about yourself and play us a song.
Yeah, happy to. Thanks again, Jan, for having me. It's always a pleasure. I know you and I have played together at your in-person series in Austin at Kick Butt Coffee, and that's always fun too. And I appreciate the timing of you having me on for this because I released a new album yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, Friday, and so I've been going around playing these songs here, especially through this weekend, and I'm going to play one of the songs from the album. And since you and I met through Swerfa, for those of you who aren't in the Austin area, it's a folk conference festival kind of thing in Austin every fall, the Southwest Regional Folk Alliance. I wrote a song from the song prompt that they gave us there, and almost accidentally wrote the song. It's the only song I've ever written from a song prompt, but they gave us a prompt, or the prompt that I received was your favorite piece of clothing. And so I wrote a song called Same Old Shoes. I'll play that. Polished and bright for a Saturday night. If you count the years, doesn't work out right. Till you find something you're terrified to lose. You could spend a lifetime in the same old shoes. A warming sun, fingers through his hair. He feels the touch, like she's almost there. Buzzing alarm, he can't hit snooze. Gotta get out of bed, wear the same old shoes. All day long he needs walking around the autumn leaves. All day long you won't break through his weathered soul or these worn out shoes. The stage is set, everybody's there, smiling faces in the air. All night long, like nothing to lose, they're dancing around in their brand new shoes. All day long he needs walking around the autumn leaves. All day long you can't break through his weathered soul or these worn out shoes. All day long all he thinks all the miles caught up with me all day long like yesterday's news, just walking around in the same old shoes, a weathered soul in the same old shoes.
Wow. Great.
Very nice. Wow. I did not know you had a new album out.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow I missed that announcement. So congratulations. That's excellent.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Trust me, I know. That is a major effort, and you're to be congratulated for completing it.
Thank you. I know I feel like I've spent the better part of this year doing all the stuff about music that's not the fun part.
Yeah, I totally get it.
Lots of self-promotion.
You get tired of talking about yourself in superlatives, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. So, Roger, tell us something about yourself and play us a tune.
Sure. Well, I'm an old copywriter, and so I worked in the advertising marketing business for 50 years, and was always writing all kinds of stuff, ads, copy for brochures, everything else, and I always wanted to try my hand at writing songs. I piddled on a guitar, but I never was serious about it. And until I wrote this first song, which was, well, it's dated, so you'll be able to tell from the song. Anyway, not much left to tell. Well, you packed your bags and got behind the wheel of your Lexus or your Oldsmobile. What did you leave for the waters upon your train? You finally stopped up in Lafayette. Did you think about your neighbor? Did you remember your pet? What did you leave for the waters upon your train? When you hit the road with a storm bearing down, did you have your daddy's watch? Did you have your mama's wedding gown? What did you leave for the waters upon your train? All ends are drowning tonight. The levee broken, but the spirit's alive. New Orleans is drowning tonight. The body dying, but the soul survives. Well, about 5 o'clock, the power went out. I could see the water rising. I hear my neighbors shout from the windows, the doors, the attics, and the roofs. This ain't no Betsy, you can bet your boots. 50,000 souls in the Superdome, the house of the saints, but the saints ain't home. People crying, mushy people crying out in vain. A heck of a job, Brownie, let's get back on that plane. New Orleans is drowning tonight. The levee broken, but the spirit's alive. New Orleans is drowning tonight. The body dying, but the soul survives. Well, when you return to the White House lawn, do the people in the lower 9 know you were gone? Or did you leave in the waters upon your train? When you were trying on your new shoes, had you seen the report? Had you heard the news? What did you leave in the waters upon your train? When you was hurting, you call up your old friends, Halliburton. What did you leave in the waters upon your train? And all into drowning tonight, the levee broken but the spirit's alive. New Orleans is drowning tonight, the body dying but the soul survives. People pointing fingers, but sorting out the blame. They patched all the holes in the leg poncho train, stacked up the trash 6 feet high, hauled off the bodies, dead and alive. They cleaned up the quarter and they had a parade. All the politicians there were playing charades. People feeling sorry, people got pity for all the poor folk down in Chocolate City. And all in it drowning tonight, the levee broken but the spirit's alive. New Orleans is drowning tonight, the body dying but the soul survives. Well, there was a house in New Orleans, but it's gone.
Bravo.
Very good.
Thanks.
My word. Okay. So I have been writing a bunch of songs kind of similar to that one. Critical, sad, anxious. You know, it kind of sums up my days. And I decided that if I was going to make a departure from that, and I really needed to, that it would be a celebration of ordinary things, things we hope to get back to. Remember when it used to be, and like that. You know? So this is one of the results of that effort. I'm making another dress for my daughter, shaping my love to a pattern by Vogue. Each one is more stylish than the last, so I can't help but notice she's growing up so fast, and how time has flown. I'm making this prom dress for my daughter. My mother's and her mother's light comes through me. Generations of love passed along, captured in taffeta, lace and chiffon, rhinestones and gold, like links in a chain. The light and the love live again and again, each different and yet the same, links in a chain. And one day my girl main bank dresses for her girl, just one more reprise in a song about mothers sewing dresses for their little girls, connecting their daughters' worlds with those long ago, like links in a chain. The light and the love live again and again, ever different and ever the same. Links in a chain. One age to another, all the world over, from mother to daughter to mother again. Links in a chain. Thank you. So, we will keep going round and round and round like that until they throw us out of here.
That was so pretty, Jan.
Oh, thank you.
You have such a range, which is, I just admire that so much, coming from someone like me whose range is about from the bottom of my mouth to the top. It's just right there in the middle. What some might call monotone. But I'm okay with that because I come from a long line of folk singers who had kind of a monotone voice that wrote great songs, and I focus on that.
Yourself not the least among them.
Well, thank you so much for that. I was playing a show one time here in San Marcos a few years ago at the Cheatham Street Warehouse, and there was this guy there who was really listening to my songs, and he must have tipped me 2 or 3 different times, and seemed like a really appreciative audience member. And then at the end, he came up and said, "Yeah, that was good, but I'm just used to listening to people sing, where they go, ah, not this monotone thing." Like, yeah, thanks, buddy. And when he walked away, the sound guy said, "I wanted to throw my bottle of mineral water at him."
Yeah, I want to do that too.
Well, here's a song about, this is also off of my new album, and this is a song about the part of Texas I grew up in, which is kind of the industrial coast on the other side of Houston, in an area called Port Arthur, for those of you who are not from Texas. And this is a song called Refinery Town. Look at those houses falling down all around this oil boom town. The old folks say, "Don't you stick around. There's nothing for you in this refinery town." The young folks say it only brings me down. I've gotta get out of this refinery town. Rising up and then falling back down is the way of the world in an oil boom town. I swore someday I was gonna leave. I don't think it was all just fantasy. I never even worked at the plants in town, except for that summer at the Unocal. Fire watch for welders, only unit shut down, and everyone's saying, "I hope you're college bound." So I stopped saying I was gonna leave. I built a life of friends and family. I've lived here damn near all my life. Couldn't cut the air with the sharpest knife. The leaves on the trees and the water's brown. It's a change of season in an oil boom town. not saying what's meant to be. It's safe to bet now that I'll never leave. People come and people go, but not the ones I've always known. The ones who go don't come back around. And once they get out of this refinery town, once they get out of this refinery town. Thank you. Thanks
That
so
matches
much.
well with just about everything everybody has ever said about growing up in that area.
Yeah, like people say, maybe it's a good place to be from. I left there when I was 18, and so the song's really not about me, about staying and sticking around and stuff. But yeah, some famous musicians. Janis Joplin came out of Port Arthur, and the Big Bopper came out of Port Arthur.
Yes, and who doesn't remember Chantilly Lace?
Exactly.
Yeah, I have a coworker, close friend who is from Port Arthur. And,
Port Arthur, that's right.
Port Arthur, and he said that
It's really more Louisiana than it is Texas. It's primarily Cajun.
He said he left there when he was 18 in a yellow Ford Maverick, and
Whoa.
prayed that it would last long enough to get him to Austin. And he said,
Been there.
That's funny. So I had a
He
similar.
said
I left
that's-
there.
as far
Left
as
there in a 1979 green Datsun. Remember with those Datsun cars that
Sure.
it was shaped like an egg? It had
yeah.
rust holes you could see through the floorboard. Same thing. I used to drive that back and forth from Austin to Port Arthur, and always hoped that I'd make it across Houston.
Really.
Yeah, yeah. I think we've all, taken our baling wire and duct tape and used it to keep the transportation together to get us someplace else.
Yeah.
Well,
That's it.
I'll tell a harrowing story, but before you start, I wanted to say hello to Hugo and Sybil and Daryl who have joined us on Facebook. I shared the Facebook stream to both of your profiles, so you may want to go look and see who among your friends is watching.
Go see who my true friends are.
I wouldn't have put it
We'll see
just
if they're
that way,
still
but
We'll see if they're still friends on Monday.
so how about another song, Roger?
Sure. This was a prompt at it was a fellow Crooked Crow alumni who wanted to have a reunion of Crow people in Austin and have a songwriting, send out a prompt, put out a prompt, at the group, and then come back the next week with a song written about that. And so anyway, but I was the only one that went. So anyway. Rainbows and bridges, wishes over ditches, dreams across streams, stitches and seams. Things that connect us to those who expect us, rainbows, bridges, and love. Trains and tunnels, water through funnels, sounds over wires and radial tires. Things that convey us to those who await us, rainbows, bridges, and love. What binds us is greater than canyons and craters. What ties us together is tougher than leather. What brings us nearer to the heavens above? Rainbows, bridges, and love. Old men in rowboats, boxcars and hobos, hikers, highways, dogs that run stray. The choices we make, the paths that we take, rainbows, bridges, and love. What binds us is greater than canyons and craters. What ties us together is tougher than leather. What brings us nearer to the heavens above? Rainbows, bridges, and love. Valleys and gorges, mountains, forests, detours, contours, contours of washed out roads. The things that divide us will never deny us, rainbows, bridges, and love. What binds us is greater than canyons and craters. What ties us together is tougher than leather. What brings us nearer to the heavens above? Rainbows, bridges, and love. Rainbows and bridges, wishes over ditches, dreams across streams, stitches and seams. Things that connect us to those who expect us, rainbows, bridges, and love.
Lovely.
Thank you.
And Rick, I think you've outdone yourself.
It took me a while to find it, but I found it.
Well done.
Cool.
You know, Port Arthur had a rainbow bridge,
Yes, it did.
or still does, I guess. Yeah.
I've been on it. I tried to write a song about it, but it was just a little bit too on the nose, you know?
Oh no.
So I actually have now written more than hundreds of songs from prompts because I had gotten used to writing for like a group of people, and I used to do this thing we called 14 Songs in 14 Days, and the goal was to have your song up online on our dedicated little site so that others could listen to your song no matter how terrible by midnight, which we were a lot stricter about at the beginning, the first time we did it, than we were at the 10th time we did it. In fact, at one of them, and I might do this song later, one of them, one other person and I discovered that we were the only ones left. And so we started giving each other prompts, and I might do that one later. But this one was from a different effort that I wanted to let all the songwriters in our presence know. Sarah Spencer does the thing maybe 3 times a year called 5 Songs, the 5-song challenge, and it's 5 songs a day, and she writes wonderful prompts, lists of words, or an atmospheric kind of little thing that, yeah, I love doing this. So
five songs in a day?
5 songs in 5 days.
Oh, in 5 days. Okay.
Yeah.
Even still, that's a lot.
I know. You know, somebody told me years and years ago that Dylan used to write 5 songs a day or sometimes more. And I said, well, but I bet they weren't all keepers, because if I did it, they practically none of them would be keepers. But they said, yeah, he kept. How they knew that, I don't know. But, but in any case, this was written from one of the 5 songs challenges. And the prompt was make a list. So here's what I got out of that. First, make a list, all the qualities you missed on your previous attempts. Then make a plan, all the places that someone like that might frequent. Call all your friends, let them know you're on the mend from your last affair. Consult your horoscope, seize the moment, and say a little prayer. And then you wait, you hurry up and wait. At the right place, right time, you'll meet your soulmate. You just wait, gently knocking on the gates of love sublime. It's just a matter of patience and timing in the tango for one. Improve yourself, pay attention to your health, learn a new dance. Take a little trip, give your blues the slip, change your circumstance. Exercise your brain, learn a new language, do something just for fun. Get your fortune told, buy new clothes, you may already have won. And then you wait, you hurry up and wait. Be at the right place at the right time to meet your soulmate. You just wait, gently knocking on the gates of love sublime. It's just a matter of patience and timing in the tango for one. Sooner or later, you're gonna notice a change. Your own company ain't half as bad as they claim, and it's not a cause for shame. You can afford to wait. You can hurry up and wait. At the right place, at the right time, you'll meet your soulmate. You just wait, you'll be entering the gates of love sublime. It's just a matter of patience and timing in the tango for one. 'Cause it's all about patience and timing in the tango for one. Thank you. It's a tango. It's tango time. There it is.
I was wondering, what Broadway show that was from.
Yeah.
I spent years with people telling me your songs all sound like they come from musical theater. And the fact is, between that and classical, that's what my mother loved. That's what I grew up on. I finally wrote a musical. I'm halfway through the second one now. Because it just seemed like it was in the cards,
Yeah.
And Rick's background's really kind of added to it too. I like that.
Yeah. We
Well,
love
I'm envious.
that.
I'm envious. I don't play piano, but I'm envious because I think it adds range to the song, to the composing part of the song and the melody and stuff. So it's great.
It does for me. I've played piano since I was 4. So,
Oh, wow.
It's like another language that I speak.
That's nice. All right, well, I'm going to play one of my sensitive folk songs, kind of introspective song. And I think sometimes I'm my own worst enemy. And I think this is probably pretty common with a lot of people who are performing artists. My own sort of worst enemy is, I get really self-conscious and nervous about performing a lot of times. And if I just get out of my head and relax and have fun, it's just more enjoyable for me, but the playing is better too when you do that. And so I kind of wrote a song about that feeling that I have a lot of times about putting myself out there and performing. And I also put it on the new album that came out on Friday. And this song is called Insecurity. Racing thoughts and racing clocks for my internal pillow talk. What I wouldn't give for some sleep. Retrace the steps along the way that made up every single day when everyone seemed so much better than me. Insecurity is like some kind of disease, so I'm careful what I think about for my internal twist and shout when I'm just trying to put myself to sleep. The questions without answers are holding me for ransom before they'll let me put my mind at ease. Insecurity is like some kind of disease. I step up now to sing my songs like I've done 1,000 times alone when no one was around to judge me. And I step up to the microphone like I've done 1,000 times at home, performing on the stage of my dreams. If only I could remember to breathe. So I'm careful what I think about for my internal twist and shout when I'm just trying to put my mind at ease. The questions without answers are holding me for ransom. You'll never see the better part of me. Insecurity is like some kind of disease. I got friends who tell me that I'm great. Quit your job, don't hesitate. There's only so much time to break free. And ones who politely shake their heads and they're not placing any bets. Meanwhile, I'm still making it all about me. Insecurity is like some kind of disease. So I'm careful what I ask about, 'cause I might not like the answer when I'm just trying to put my mind at ease. And there's not much left to talk about when all your thoughts and all your doubts are playing out as how do they see me. Insecurity is like some kind of disease. Insecurity is like some kind of disease. Oh, thank you.
Well, but isn't that true? Isn't that, of all
Yeah.
this, the book by, there's an audio book by, about Bob Dylan, about Paul Simon called Miracle and Wonder. And it's Malcolm Gladwell. And Malcolm Gladwell was interviewing him and telling him, he said, well, that was really great. And he said, never tell me that. Don't tell me that. You know, he said, in order to be an artist, you have to be insecure. You know, that goes
I think
with
you're
it.
right.
And
It would be much more fun if we weren't, but I don't know how good of songs we'd write.
Well, yeah, until you kind of accept that, it's like, and then you gotta go, and it's also imposter syndrome and all kinds of stuff that go in there that's really
There,
complicated.
that's all true, but there was something that came up just this morning that I get these emails from a woman who teaches at the university level, maybe a couple times a month, and this morning's email was about that very thing, about being self-conscious, and her take on it and the study that she was quoting. They had people like dive into the interpretation, like sort of immerse themselves in the song, and reported achieving a flow. You know what I mean by that? Where it just sort of comes out and it's easy and you don't think about any of that stuff like, what do I look like? Do these people like these songs? You know, all that stuff, because you're too involved in the song to have time for any of that. And it seemed like, you know, it seemed like my experience is that, you know, when I was really involved, it came out better and easier, and without any of all that Sturm und Drang that you usually get when you know, especially if you're singing to a wall of other songwriters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the interesting part. If you hadn't seen me at New World Deli, you wouldn't have seen me. Because I'm not a performer. I look at myself as a songwriter, not a performer. And so only reason I go to New World Deli is because I've written all these songs, and I was like going, and you know, what good is it if you just got to put them out there, and then you've sung them and they're gone, and now you can move on and come back next week and do one or two more the next one, you know.
Lucky me then, eh?
Oh, let me lucky me. This was a song from a prompt. I got involved in a circle. I'll make this short. I got involved in this group online from another Crooked Crow person named Kate. I'll remember her name in a minute. But anyway, it was with a guy named Peter Himmelman, and I don't know if y'all know Peter Himmelman or not. He's a prolific songwriter. He's written hundreds and hundreds of songs. Won Emmys for his theme songs to TV shows. Been a punk rock singer. Wrote children's stuff. And his group really wasn't about anything technical about writing songs. It was all about the things we're talking about. How to become more comfortable with your art, and it's more spiritual. The other thing about him is he's Bob Dylan's son-in-law, and so but a very interesting guy. And Kate Graves insisted. After every session, she said, "Well, Peter, give us a prompt." And he said, "Well, yeah, you don't have to do it, but if you want one, write a song about how you pray." So I thought, well, how do I pray? Well, you know, what is a prayer? So anyway, this song came out. It's going. And I researched things, and as I was researching this, I found a line, and that gave me the purpose of the song. Well, you can ask forgiveness for the sins of your life. Pray for relief from burden and strife. You can thank your lucky stars for fortune and fame. Be grateful for friends who remember your name. But you can't pray for rain and complain about mud. You can't pray for freedom without shedding blood. You can't pray for peace without doing your part. And you can't pray for love and curse a broken heart. Well, you can light a candle in church or on a cake, burn incense, chant and meditate. You can follow scripture, fall down on your knees, worship the sun, tie ribbons around trees. But you can't pray for rain and complain about mud. You can't pray for freedom without shedding blood. You can't pray for peace without doing your part. You can't pray for love and curse a broken heart. You can pray for yourself, your neighbors, and their trials. Pray every day, once in a while. You can pray in desperation, alone in solitude, in chorus with the choir, raise praise through the roof. But you can't pray for rain and complain about mud. You can't pray for freedom without shedding blood. You can't pray for peace without doing your part. And you can't pray for love and curse a broken heart. No, you can't pray for love and curse a broken heart. Thank you.
Well, I have always said a perfect life includes something to bitch about. So,
Yeah. There's a saying that goes in with that about my dad used to say, and he would say, bitch, bitch, bitch. Ever since the baby came, that's all I heard, so let's get married.
well, we are about to take off to one of my favorite places. We're going to, at the end of July, we're leaving. We'll be back in town kind of sporadically, but we're leaving to go into various places. And one of them is going to be where I'm about to sing about, in amongst the redwoods. I read a book last year called The Overstory by Richard Powell, and it gave me a brand new appreciation for trees, for one thing, an entirely different way to look at them. Did you know we share, when I say this, you're going to realize it's true, and it has to be true. We share 14% of our DNA with trees, because they came first. So the redwoods are now my favorite place, except that in the middle of the month of August, we're going to go take care of our grandgirls while their parents are out of town for a while, and follow that up with a trip to see the sequoias, which I've wanted to do since second grade, and I'm really excited about that. But Point Arena is where we go in Northern California, up amongst the redwoods, and it's this coastal town. It's one of those blink and you miss it places, and it's just a sweet little place. It's got a lighthouse, one of the few remaining on the West Coast. It's actually there. Sometimes it's fogged over, and so you can't see it. So Chrissy Natoli, for years, believed that they were just making it up and pulling her leg. But it really is there. So, blue skies, sunshine, sea foam sparkles on the shore, tall pines, grapevines, and a blackbird raconteur. Sunday morning, peaceful as a prayer. It's spring in Point Arena. It's spring in Point Arena, and the birds of California are singing everywhere. Bright eyes, warm smiles in this tiny seaside town. New friends clasp our hands and invite us to sit down. Sunday gathering, it's a picnic in the park. It's spring in Point Arena. It's spring in Point Arena, and the birds of California are but the sun is setting and the fog rolls in, and we must leave. But spring in Point Arena, spring in Point Arena, and the birds of California. Spring in Point Arena, spring in Point Arena, and the birds of California will sing on in my dreams. It's spring in Point Arena.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's another thing I think that I have in common with you and Andy is spending a lot of time in California. Our son lives out there, your daughter lives out there, and so I'll be out in Los Angeles a couple of weeks in July, a couple of weeks in August, and
Yeah.
so depending on what time you are going to be there, like in August, well, I've got shows in each of those times. It sounds like you'll be traveling in July up north, but I'll be in Los Angeles at the Mint on July the 9th. And then in August, like August the 8th or the 9th, whatever that Saturday is, there's a place called Ojai. Have you guys ever been up to Ojai, just north of Los Angeles, up in the mountains?
I was when I lived there, but I haven't been since my daughter has lived there.
Okay.
Yeah, you just led straight into what I was going to do next, which is, since you're on the mic, tell me where you're going to be next and where people can find you online.
Yeah, thank you. So my next show is coming up this coming Friday here locally, at least in New Braunfels, at the Redbird Listening Room, and this is actually my official album release party. So this is the one I would love for people. I'm pretty sure there are still tickets available, and you can just Google the Redbird Listening Room in New Braunfels. So that is Friday, June the 27th. I think I'll play at 7:30.
What's the name of your album?
It's called Autumn to August.
Okay.
And so after I do that show, and then early the next week, we're heading out to California, Los Angeles, and that's when I'll play the Mint, which is in sort of mid-city, West Los Angeles area. I'll play that show on a Wednesday, July the 9th, and come back, and I'll be in Texas for a couple of really hot, dreadful weeks for the rest of July. And then early August, we'll head back to California, and I'll be out there for over 2 weeks then. And that's when I'm going up to Ojai. I haven't been to this venue yet, but it sounds amazing. It's another listening room kind of venue called Ojai Underground.
Oh, nice.
And I'll be playing there on Saturday, August the 8th or the 9th. I forget what it is.
I think we're going to be there the following week.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, and actually we'll have 2 grandchildren in tow, so I'm not sure how far we can range.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good drive up to the mountains from there. I haven't been up there yet, but I'm looking forward to it. That'll be a nice respite from Texas to go in that cool weather. And so your California song made me think of a song off of my last record, and it's sort of a California road trip.
Okay, well, hold on for just a second because I have the same question for Roger.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, where are you going to be next, and where can people find you online?
I'll be at New World Deli on Monday nights for open mic, and I don't have anything online. And,
You don't?
No,
Shame on you.
I haven't done anything. Part of that insecurity syndrome. But no, I don't have anything online. I do have I have a couple of people that have covered my songs, which really delights me. One is a guy named Ivan Boudreau out of Vancouver, Canada, and he's a great guy, and he has covered one of my songs that I'll do later. And then there's a small group of artists up in Northern California called the Elderberries, and they have recorded a CD with that same song on it. And I'm supposed to get a link any day on terms of how to get to that song online, and I'll post it on a Facebook page.
Cool. And your Facebook page is your facebook.com, your name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if any of these nice people want to find you and hear your songs again, they can contact you there.
Yeah, mostly I'm either in my man cave or on a chainsaw or with my 2 infant grandchildren.
Well, the man cave sounds like the best bet.
Yeah.
I'll be there. It's cooler out there.
Yeah.
We'll all just come join you in your man cave then. That
Yeah,
sounds
really.
Hey, everybody's welcome.
Okay, so now you can do your song.
Okay, so this is a song called California Ride. Faster than the headlights shine, one up in the trees. The smell of oil and the burning of the leaves. There's nothing left here for her in the darkness of this town. She stayed another day, she might never live it down or take that California ride. California ride. For daylight on that California ride. She could never want to be what she hadn't been before. This is not the kind of place where they let you think of more. There's nothing left here for her in the smallness of this town. She stayed another day, she might burn the whole place down and take that California ride. California ride. Leaving for the light on that California ride. Now she's following the path so long ago, when they were running from the dust and the shame, with the seeds they couldn't sow, out here on the mother road. Following the path they beat so long ago, out here on 66 highway, in her 88 olds, hoping that the engine holds.
I really like that you used an Oldsmobile.
Thank you.
So it seems like it's a great brand of car to throw into a song. I think Tom Waits used to use it a lot. An Oldsmobile.
Yeah, there is something. I think we all can sort of conjure up an image of like a 1988 Oldsmobile.
Yeah, well, actually, I had a 55 Holiday 88.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
Yeah, that's certainly a
no,
classic car. An 88 Oldsmobile is like a ugly, you know.
Your
so was a
father's Oldsmobile,
That's
right?
exactly, it's your father's
so
Oldsmobile.
was a 55. It was big as a tank, and it's like flushing a commode every time you punched on the accelerator. It was,
I
it was
have never heard anyone say that before.
well, trying to be a 16-year-old kid and put gas in it, you know. Fortunately, gas at the time was 25 cents a gallon. God, I guess I'm dating myself.
That was a while ago.
Yeah. Um, so this song, I find it sometimes hard to write from the personal point of view, although a lot of times I try to disguise it and it still comes out anyway, but I didn't on this one. And so when I was 16, my father died of genetic heart disease, and I was told that it was genetic and that it probably passed along. So I've lived and he was 37, so I've lived a great deal of my life thinking I was going to be old or die young until I got to be 70, and I thought, well, maybe I'm not going to die young. But anyway, this song still worked its way out, so about the feelings you get in that. I want to be an old man when I die. The map of my life and the lines around my eyes. No more trails to blaze at the end of my days. I want to be an old man when I die. I want to die with my guns in my hands, on the spot where I made my last stand, with the barrels white hot from the battles I fought. I want to die with my guns in my hand. These are the terms of my surrender. The only thing I ask, won't you please remember I was true to you till the last. I want my boots to be shined when I pass. Their waltzes with you be their last. I want to look my best when they lay me to rest. I want my boots to be shined when I pass. I want the girls to all cry when I go, the ones I've not met and the ones I know. I want to float away on the tears shed that day. I want the girls to all cry when I go. These are the terms of my surrender. The only things I ask, won't you please remember I was true to you till the last. Angels, please wait till I call you. Don't you come too soon. Give you my word, I will join you in the shadow of the moon. Wanna be an old man when I die, when the fields have gone fallow and the wells have run dry. No more mud on the plow, no sweat on my brow. Won't be an old man when I die. Want the girls to all cry when I go.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm glad that worked out. That it worked out the way it was supposed to, and
Just in case.
I was telling somebody the other day, I want to die quietly of nothing at age 120 and have everybody be surprised. She was how old?
Exactly.
37.
Yes, perpetually.
Yeah.
In fact, I have a song called 39 Forever, but I'll take 37. I'm okay with that.
I heard an interview one time on NPR with a gentleman who had been part of the Johnson administration. So it was a long time ago. But and this was quite a while ago. I heard the interview, but they asked him, and he said, "One last question before I go." He said, I said, "What's it like being 96?" He said, "Oh, I don't recommend it."
Well, I have a song that's sort of similar to yours, but quite a bit more defiant, and I'm going to play it now.
Good.
You can already tell it's more defiant, right? I will not be leaving without a struggle. No one will have to say, don't go gently to that good night. I'll be kicking and screaming and hanging on to the door jambs, protesting all the way that I'm not done with this life. I want to see peace, want to see joy. I want to hear the truth without the noise. I want to see justice with my own eyes. And then I'll be ready and I'll say goodbye. Maybe. Maybe not. I believe Moses looked like Charlton Heston. And I believe he had a word with God. All I want to know is when is it my turn? 'Cause I'm thinking miracles can't be all that hard. I want to see peace. I want to see joy. Want to hear the truth without the noise. I want to see justice. Come on, my own eyes. Then I'll be ready and I'll say goodbye. I want to see the face of peace. I want to hear the voice of truth. I want to know that dream is real, and then I'll make that choice. But first, I want to see peace. I want to see joy. I want to hear the truth, but hold the noise. I want to see justice with my own eyes, and then I'll be ready, and I'll say goodbye. Then I'll be ready. Then I'll be... no. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's the same attitude.
Yeah. I'm a big proponent of all those health nuts are going to feel really stupid lying on their deathbeds dying of nothing. That'll be me.
Well, when you get to be my age, you can live a pristine life. You can do everything right, eat right, exercise, do all that stuff. I think it only buys you 28 more minutes.
I'll take them.
Well, I guess this is somewhat related because this song references smoking. And so, speaking of, the things that make it a little more challenging to make it to 96 or 120, and this is actually the title track to my new record. It's called Autumn to August, and one of those instances where I was just watching a movie, and there was just this one little scene where what I saw the guy doing, I just started kind of mumbling, humming to myself, and I'm trying to like, okay, I got a couple of lines that rhyme, and I just built a song around that. Had nothing to do with the movie I was watching. It's just seeing that scene gave me an image, and then I just filled it out with the rest of the story, and I'm breaking out since Jan confessed to me that she's one of those people who actually does like the sound of the 12-string guitar. I broke out my extra jangly Guild 12-string guitar, and I'll add a little twang here. Thank you. He lit a cigarette under his shirt, headlong in the wind. Miles between and miles to go, he won't be back again. Serpentine and turpentine, he sure could use a friend. At 17 in summertime, there's time to make amends. Autumn to August, is that all we need? After all this talk of life's brevity, pastures plenty full of hope high upon the plains. Thoughts of cities far away pull tighter on the reins. 1,440 minutes, all in a day. 500,000 more to go before we're back this way. Autumn to August, to get what we need. After all this talk of the shortest of scenes of urgency. He lit a cigarette under his shirt, headlong in the wind. Miles between and miles to go, to look back on again. At 17 in summertime, there's time to make amends. Miles between and miles to go, that won't be back again. Autumn to August, that's all we need to get what we wanted, not just anxiety of immediacy, the shortest of scenes. That's all fantasy, life's brevity. It's all fantasy, all fantasy, all fantasy. He lit a cigarette under his shirt, headlong in the wind. Oh, thank you.
You know, I like the fact that it's got a cigarette in it because you don't see much smoking anymore. Although I like on the Netflix now when they give you the disclaimer at the top about whether there's sex or nudity or violence. It also says smoking.
Now it includes smoking. I know.
Yes.
Go smoking.
Foul language and smoking.
Gosh, man, I mean that's like John Prine said when he gets to heaven, he's going to smoke a 9-mile long cigarette. That's kind of the way I feel. I haven't smoked since 1982, but I kind of feel like,
Yeah, same here. I quit smoking a long time. I quit smoking when I was about 30 years old. I started in college, so I smoked from a full decade, from 20 to 30, and then I put it down and tried to substitute cigars for it and held on to that for a good long time. But I finally just dropped that altogether too, and mainly, in addition to the health reasons, for singing purposes. I mean, I could tell it was really like limiting my lung capacity.
And your range.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I also smoked and quit, but I think the reason that they do that on the warnings at the top of the movie, is so that the kids don't get the idea that it's sophisticated.
That it's cool, like in Mad Men, where everybody looks so cool smoking.
Yeah, I had to quit. I had to give up cigars when I gave up scotch because they all go together.
Yeah.
I had a friend who almost died. He said he had gotten his diet down to just 2 items: scotch and ice cream.
Very nutritious, both of those.
I know. It's like I can't even put those two things together.
No.
I said, well, if you put enough of one of them first, the other one's all right. So I don't get to talk about my songs much because I just play in an open mic, and out of courtesy and etiquette, you just get up and play your song and let everybody figure it out. This one wrote itself, so there's not much to say about it. I'm going to start over. You've seen it all. You've watched it pass. That old familiar reflection in the glass. Tales told were lies. Lies told were true. You thought every word was all about you. You're never out of sight. In the dark you find the light. In an empty room you're never lonely. In a crowd of strangers you feel holy. You think you know who you think you are. You see yourself in the light of a different star. You choose your beliefs. You believe your doubts. You make your own keys. Let yourself out. You're never out of sight. In the dark you find the light. In an empty room you're never lonely. In a crowd of strangers you feel holy. you've watched it pass. That old familiar reflection in the glass.
Yeah,
That was beautiful.
that really was. Everything about it, the songwriting, the singing, and I just love finger picking. I'm always drawn to that sound, and because you could fill out, like, create such a full sound with what you're doing there, finger picking. I mean, man, your guitar sounded so good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, the song came from that riff, that melody,
Mm-hmm.
and those are the words that just slipped into it. So I don't have any idea what it means.
I love it when that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a gift, I guess.
Oh yeah, the ones that practically write themselves, it's so nice. The ones that you don't have to labor over for some period of time, and then you almost hate to even question those. It's like, oh nope, I don't know where it came from, but I'm glad, and I hope it comes back.
Really?
Yeah.
By the way, I wanted to say, Roger, that I also was a copywriter for an ad agency for quite a while. I worked for a couple agencies in New York, a couple of large ones, and finally a small one that put me off the whole project altogether. But when Mad Men came on, and since that came up, did you notice that even though they looked cool when they were smoking, that when he and his wife got up in the morning, they were both coughing
Yeah.
Yeah, they
uncontrollably?
made sure of that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So that they won my respect when they were talking about the Campbell's Soup account and how they pitched for the Campbell's Soup account, but no, it went to BBDO. Well, I worked for BBDO then, and that was the account I was on.
Really?
Yes.
Not to real shortly, briefly, but my career started off working in radio and selling ads and writing copy. Learned how to write short form, with 30, 60-second ads in radio.
Yeah.
And then, but anyway, it evolved all the way to where I was doing market research. And one of my clients turned out to be Shiflin and Somerset in New York. And so I did a bunch of research for them. And then I'd go up there and they'd send me back with a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue.
Oh,
every
yeah.
time. So it's like I was going like, do we need to meet next week?
I'm all out of booze.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's great. But I mean, it really, it's like that's really, the prompts are nothing, right? If somebody tells you, hey, I need an ad or a piece of copy for this, and I need it by this date, I mean, when you do that for a few years, it's like somebody says, well, write a song about this. It doesn't seem like it's a challenge.
Interesting, huh? I
Yeah.
guess I went into the wrong profession to pay the bills. I should have done
Well,
something a little more closely
that's what
related
I was going to say
to.
is writing songs doesn't pay nearly as well.
Eventually, though, at least in my case, one gets tired of selling people things they don't need and can't afford.
Yeah, they're going to buy them anyway.
Are they? With me or without me? But they don't need my input. So, this is one of the songs that made me decide I better start writing about something else. But this was very close to my heart, and the thing that triggered it was the news about all the food that was spoiling at the docks on this side of the Atlantic when it was so badly needed on the other side. So, this is it. Our children cry all night, we cannot soothe them. You say you're on our side, but you are gone. We stuff their mouths with grass, hoping their hunger will pass, but it goes on and on and on. higher ground, reclaim the truth, then stand there looking down. Is that what your Lord would do? Would he deny our need? No trace of empathy, just thoughts and prayers and platitudes. That which you do unto the least of these, you do to me. So he told you that which you do unto the least of these, you do to me. You who've received so much, you'll never know suffering, but you're so out of touch. How can we explain the pain of not enough? Tell me, my sisters and brothers, what would your Jesus say? That which you do unto the least of these, you do to me. Don't you remember that which you do unto the least of these, you do to me? Syria, Afghanistan, Nigeria, South Sudan, Ukraine, Gaza, Somalia, and now America too. That which you do unto the least of these, you do to me. Have you forgotten that which you do unto the least of these, you do to me? May the words of our mouths and the pain of our hearts be heard. Be heard.
Yeah.
That's it. Those are beautiful, beautiful chords. So I'm jealous about that.
You.
But and the
They were
song
on
is,
my guitar.
the sounds. Yeah, they're on the guitar. It's not like I created them. A beautiful sentiment too.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Well, we have 2 more rounds, so
Okay. I'm going to do a song about my dad. So I guess had the fortunate or unfortunate position of having 2 dads. This is about the biological one, and he grew up in the Midwest in Illinois, and left the farm when he turned 18 and decided to be a truck driver. Got his own truck and just went coast to coast but where he grew up in Illinois was one of those pioneer kind of farm where they settled that land in the 1830s, and that farm had been in his family ever since then when he was born in the 40s. And so I kind of wrote about that experience for him, and it's called Great Big World. Jumping in the river from high up in the tree, barefoot on a gravel road and Sundays on our knees, following the tractor while it's plowing for the corn, like they've been doing here 100 years before I was born. But there's a great big world coming round the bend, so much farther from the boundaries of our land. And I apologize. Mother's eldest son is like a thief in the night, or a bandit on the run. Coming across the desert, or high up in the plains, Sundays in Nogales and Thursdays in the Glades. Driving down this highway is like riding on the rails, thumbing across the desert or trimming the sails. There's a great big world coming round the bend, but there's a hollow sound running through my head, and I apologize. Mother's eldest son is like a thief in the night, or a bandit on the run. Lessons I have learned, all the things that I have seen, but I've been living this way so long, it's what I'm gonna be. I can be a beer joint troubadour acting like a saint. I could have a home and family, but I could never stay, 'cause there's a great big world coming round the bend, and there's a hollow sound running through my head, and I apologize for everything I've done, like a thief in the night, or a bandit on the run, like a thief in the night, or a bandit on the run. Jumping in the river from high up in the tree.
Wow.
Oh, thank you.
Bandit on the run. What did
Yeah.
he steal? What did he steal?
Oh, no, I'm being dramatic for songwriting purposes.
He stole something.
He stole my poor little boy heart.
Well, that counts for something. Counts for a lot. So he probably was familiar with the Bill Mack Open Road show off WBAP in Fort Worth.
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
Clear
We actually
Channel.
weren't that close. I didn't know a whole lot about him.
Yeah, Clear Channel Radio, where they take requests from truckers on the road. He said,
Okay.
this goes out to Thelma Lou from Jim Bob out in Arizona, and the song was "I Ain't Coming Home No More, No More." It was just stuff like that, you know,
Yeah.
where they would send messages to each other. So this is a song. This is my newest song. I wrote it last week, and it's very interesting. This is the one where I started writing it, and it's like, it seemed more about me, but I was trying to cover that up. But I think at the end it came out. I made make-believe, believed it was real, made real disappear. That was my deal. The sky was the limit. The limits ignored. There was no end to the worlds I explored. I built castles and I tore them down, captured the king and I stole his crown. I found treasure under piles of junk. I pirated gold from the ships that I sunk. When I was young and wild and free, I could be anything I wanted to be. When I was young and wild and free, I could be anyone but me. I was a hero. I wore a mask when there was trouble. I got there fast. Man of steel with a long red cape. Damsels distressed, I helped them escape. And I was Mickey, Yogi and the Babe. I was an all-star in the Hall of Fame. I hit home runs and I stole home, and I made the catch that saved the game. When I was young and wild and free, I could be anything I wanted to be. When I was young and wild and brave, I could be anyone but me. And I was the captain of the team. I called the plays and I made the scheme. I caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl. I got the girl and I won the gold. When I was wild and young and free, I could be I wanted to be. When I was wild and young and free, I could be anyone but me. I could be anyone but me.
I love that, Roger. I really
Thank
like
you.
that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I love it too. Where'd you get that picture of Annie, Rick?
I think I got it from her webpage.
Oh, okay. Guys, Sybil Bannett, who is on the Facebook, on the Facebook version of this, would like to know where she can find both of you online. So, if you go to your Facebook profile, you'll find the this show on there, and go ahead and give her the word
Oh, great. Okay, yeah.
because she
Happy to.
loves both of you.
Oh, that's very sweet.
That's
Thank you.
nice. Let's see here. Me.
Yeah.
Anyone but me. Let's see. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
on there.
Are you finding the show?
I just thought I might be Annie.
You might be Annie.
Yeah, if I could be anybody I wanted to be.
Yeah.
But if you're Annie, who will she be?
She won't be anything but herself.
Well, it's possible these days that you could be both.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm on there. You want to share it?
No, just
Does she have a?
Do you see any comments on your version of it?
I don't.
Okay, well then go to my Facebook profile and answer her there.
Okay.
You'll see her comment.
Okay. Can we do? You want to do it now?
You can do it wherever you like or whenever you like.
Yeah. If we can do it right after we get off of here, I'll do it.
Sure. I just don't know if she'll still be there after the show is over.
Okay. Let me find it.
Okay. So I'm going to do one that I talked about earlier. This is the one we were doing. We were all doing songs, or we thought we were, songs for that 14 songs in 14 days thing. And it turned out there were only 2 of us left doing it. So we started giving each other prompts, and she gave me, the other person, Leah, gave me this prompt. And I have no doubt at all that she was looking at an actual red dress when she gave it to me. Just look around the room, figure out which item you should use as a prompt, and tell the other person, right? So this is what I got out of it, though. Yeah, thank you. I no longer have that dress, and I really regret that. This old red dress, it used to go dancing. Harold and I would step out on the floor. People would smile when they saw us coming. I miss dancing, but I miss Harold more. This old red dress, once it was new, and I loved the way it felt out when we twirled. Satin and sequins and crinolines too. Red shoes to match, one string of pearls. I would give anything for one more dance with Harold and me swept up in the romance. He was my prince and I was his princess when I danced with Harold in this old red dress. Someone's not muted? I've tried dancing with others, don't get me wrong. I gave each one a chance, but none were as good. That's how it's been since Harold's been gone. Found none like him, didn't think that I would. I would give anything for one more dance with Harold when I danced with Harold, this old red dressed. Sooner or later I'll find him again, whenever I'm finally laid to my rest. I already know what I'll be wearing then. I'll go to my Harold in this old red dress, 'cause I would give anything for one more dance with Harold and me swept up in the romance. He was my prince and I was his princess when I danced with Harold in this old red dress. He was my prince and I was his princess when I danced with Harold in this old red dress.
Wow, that's an
Thank you.
amazing song, Jan. I love it. It's called "This Old Red Dress."
Yes.
Is it recorded?
It's on SoundCloud. It's not on an album. But you can
Cool.
find it on SoundCloud.
Okay, that's wonderful. Just
And I suppose that means you could find it on Spotify and all those others, but you know.
Good. Nice. Well, I know we don't have a lot of time left on the stream, so I'll do a very brief introduction to this song. And this is a short, simple little song, kind of
Okay.
about some old friends I grew up with, and a little bit of the backstory with moving to the Port Arthur area that I mentioned earlier when I was a small child, and we packed up an old car with myself and my 3 older sisters and my mom, and hit the road from Arkansas, came down to Port Arthur and crossed that Rainbow Bridge that we were talking about earlier, and then I kind of packed in, stories of old friends that I grew up with down there, and didn't want to single anyone out, so I just kind of like blended the stories about 5 or 6 guys and into this song called "Something in Your Day," and it's in fact it's the first song on my new record that is out now, that you can find on all the streaming platforms, and is in CD form if anyone is interested in that kind of artifact as well. I've got plenty of those. You're acting kind of strange and I don't know why. Been drinking all day like it's 4th of July. Call your name and I call your bluff. You know you look funny when you're trying to be tough. 'Cause I knew you back when my sister made you cry. My brother took a cheap shot, I was icing my eye. 'Cause we grew up faster than the other kids did. That's what it means to drive your car in a ditch then. We were something. We were something in our day. Not quite something. Not quite something you leave unscathed. When we pulled into town, I was sleeping in the back, on top of our clothes and everything we could pack. To a 75 Ford without estate plates. Guess we'll be in a new school after holiday break. That was something. That was something in our day. Not quite something. Not quite something you leave unscathed. You welcomed me to town, picking a fight. We've carried on and off now most of our lives. And all the time I stayed away. Every time we talk, it's about the days we We'd climb from the roof to the fence to the yard, put it in neutral and I'll push the car far away from the window where your folks are asleep, and start up the engine at the end of the street. Off for something in our day. We were something in those days. And you were something in your day.
Wow, that was great. Yeah,
Oh, thank
those
you.
songs about that kind of adolescent time of life,
Mm-hmm.
when you were on the probably on the verge,
Yeah.
right on the verge of like, is this delinquent or is this?
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny how you judge your whole childhood by what happened in your adolescence.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not
I've
sure
got
we were on the verge. I think we were delinquent.
yeah, I've got a song about the night shot the campus cop car,
Oh,
Whoops.
but
ooh.
that's for another time.
Okay.
Anyone you can walk away from or run away from and get away from is a good one. So briefly, this is my hit. This is a song that I wrote coming back from Dallas from a business trip, and my family, and I was born in Waxahachie, Texas, and my dad's family's from Waxahachie, and we have a private. There's a private cemetery out there, and we have a burial plot there. And on the way back from Dallas, I just took off I-35 and was driving through the country and listening to a interview with John Fulbright. And they were on public radio out of Dallas, and they were asking him to go, well, do you still live out in rural Oklahoma? And he said, yeah, I live out among a bunch of rusty things. And so while I was driving on this farm road, swerving around and getting into the Bethel community and going by all these farms and all those rusty things, this song came into my head, not the whole thing, but enough of it that when I got home, I was able to write the song. So anyway, that's what generated this. Well, the hinges on the barn door, they're rusted shut. They used to open wide for my pickup truck. And the numbers on the mailbox don't hang straight. It hasn't seen the postman since '98. And the grass grows past the fenders on the Massey Ferguson. Its bright red cowling turned pink by the sun. Rusted things down a dusty road. Some broke down, some just old rusted things that can't be sold. Filled with memories that won't be told. Well, the trees that line the road all died out. They couldn't take the heat or the damned old drought. The crops were thin, jobs were scarce, and I wasn't the college type. So I enlisted in the army and I left to join the fight. By the time that I returned, the bank had called the loan. Dad was in the grave and Mom was in the home. A rusty thing down a dusty road. Some broke down, some just old old rusty things that can't be sold, filled with memories that won't be told. Well, I moved to town and I took a job at the factory. I punched the clock for 20 years, 6 days a week. Then the foreman said he's sorry, but he had to let us go, 'cause we moved our jobs down to Mexico. And everybody says it's coming back someday, but I think it's more likely we'll all rust away. Rusty things down a dusty road, some broke down, some just old rusty things that can't be sold, filled with memories that won't be told. Now I've done the odd job, and I've been the crossing guard. I've helped out at the church, and I've mowed the widow's yard. Now I'm pushing 80, it's pushing back on me, but it hasn't pushed me down or brought me to my knees. And when I reach the end of my usefulness, don't leave me out to rust, just lay me down to rest. Rusty things down a dusty road, some broke down, some just old rusty things that can't be sold, filled with memories that won't be told, filled with memories that won't be told.
Yeah.
That was
Thank you.
gorgeous.
Thank you.
That really was.
Enjoyed it.
You know, I feel compelled to say this, Roger. You should. In my opinion, these songs would be adored by more than the people at the Monday night New World Deli open mic. And if they were my songs, I would make sure they were. So I'll leave you with that. These are gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind and very flattering. So because, well, first off, both of you are great songwriters. So I'm really delighted just to be.
You're no slouch yourself, hon.
Thank you.
You know, it's like it's that whole thing. But yeah, I've been told that before, and it's true. It's like if it is true, and I should be doing that, I should be doing it, and I should be doing it soon because.
Exactly. These are your legacy. If you want to have proof that you were not just taking up space while you were here, this would be good proof.
Yeah, I guess. I won't get into it now, but part of the dilemma is like you make a CD, or, you know, it's like then it becomes coasters.
Yeah, I'm not, like there are no guarantees in life, and I'm not saying, get it out in the marketplace necessarily. I'm just saying get it out there so people can enjoy it. You have something to give. You have something to offer.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I would buy that record and I would stream those songs and I
Myself.
would tell people about it and say, you got to go check out this guy, Roger. Man, this is, incredible
Yeah.
song.
That's very
Yeah.
nice of you to say, and I'll take it into consideration.
There you go.
Okay, so I want to, wherever you are in the universe, in the cyber universe, please give a round of applause to Roger Edmondson and Lynn Crossett, who have made this afternoon magical. Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you, Janet. Jan, this was really, we appreciate all the effort that goes into doing this stuff because I know technology can be a headache, and you're the ones who are responsible for making this happen. All we had to do was sign into the link and play our songs.
It's labor of love, Lynn.
Yeah,
So I'm going to do one last one that Andy asked for today, in the face of everybody's rogue leaders. It was written after 9/11, but I didn't really have a lot to say right afterwards, being sort of speechless, which is usually how this kind of news grabs me. But the sight of W standing on a pile of rubble, promising us a lifetime of war, was more than even I could be silent for. In the chasm of our sorrow, let us not forget we are all believers in a truth stronger than death. Let us grant us healing for the suffering, comfort for the comfortless, and let us choose the light that built the dream to give us peace. In our pain, in our anger, let us still recall, though we're each of us a stranger, still we are kindred all. As we find ourselves in heroes, so we'll also find our flaws. Let us find the strength that we will need to give us peace. In the anguish of our losses, let us not despair. While the light of freedom shines, let us choose our course with care. Let us leave that wheel of vengeance, forsake the path of fear, and let us seek the road to the true victory. To give us peace.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was beautiful and rich.
Thank you. Thank you. And on that note, I wish peace and well-being to everyone, especially you, Janet. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Can we all uncloak to say goodbye? Yeah. Yeah.
That's what Andy looks like.
Yes. Beautiful, no?
Hey, hi, Janet.
Thank you so much, Lynn. Thank you so much, Roger, for saying yes to this. And thanks to everybody here and on YouTube and on Facebook for being here to witness this wonderful afternoon. I'm going to stop the stream now, but you're all welcome to get on the Zoom for the last few minutes where we're just going to talk.